Hey y'all, what's up? Skylar here with Sky Gardens. Welcome back to our In His Creation segment here on YouTube. You know, this week has been weird because I sit here and it's winter time, right? And I shouldn't be seeing growth, but at the same time, I want to see growth because I'm working on planting and I'm working on doing things and I'm working on the farm, and it's like I wish I could see the growth in all of it. And part of me wants to like see the reward already that is coming to it for all of the work that I've put into it, right? And it's just right now, which actually I guess the day before yesterday I walked in here and I was like, wow, things are actually green. Like things look pretty good. No, I don't like see a ton of growth up close, and I don't see like large robust plants yet, and there's no reward in beautiful flowers and big bushy growth yet. But at the same time there is. But it got me thinking because I'm sitting here and I'm planting a lot, and I was like, man, God, like where is the growth in this? What are you doing in this? What is this like? And I started thinking about the disciples, specifically the apostles, but the disciples that were around Jesus and like getting to be with him every day. And I'm sure they walked in every day and they were like, oh, this is just another day, like this is just another day. And after they figure out who he is, like they're probably like, okay, let's get going. Let's get to the point because there's a good, really exciting story that has to be told in this. And I'm excited to see what it is because you're about to rule the world. That's what they're thinking. The disciples following Jesus around thinking he's about to take over the world and do amazing things and improve their life tremendously. And they're going to see the reward of their faithfulness in this time, right? And so they're sitting there. I'm sure they're thinking of this. And man, it is going even deeper than like what I'm even thinking. But at one point in time, because they're getting there, and I'm sure they're just starting to stall, and they're probably just asking more questions like, okay, I mean, let's just speed this thing along. Let me ask you the good stuff. Let's get to the really juicy stuff. I'd like to know what my reward is in all of this. I think it's funny how Jesus does it. Because in Matthew 18, we're starting in verse 1, at the time the disciples came to Jesus and asked, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? What a human question to ask, right? Like, what a question for me to ask. I'm sitting there, God, I mean, look what I've done for you. Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And I'm sure some of them are like, oh, I don't expect that to be me. But at the same time, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus, he called a little child and had him stand among them. And he said, I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes a little child like this in my name welcomes me. But if anyone causes one of these little ones to believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to sin. Such things must come, but woe to the man through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life maimed or crippled than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. And if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell. And you're like, Skylar, what does that have to do about the fact that things are not growing on the farm right now? Like that you can't see measurable differences each day that you get into the tunnel or whatever that is. And I sit here and I think about this, and I've been thinking about what it must have been like for those apostles and those disciples to be sitting there and wondering, where's the reward in this? I'm following you, Jesus, but where's my reward? And I'm sitting here and I'm in the tunnels and I catching a cold. Like I have this cough I'm surprised I haven't done it yet on here. Knock on wood. I need to knock on wood. But I've had this cough and it's like, okay, this is getting outrageous. I don't see major successes happening here. I don't see a major reward in any front. I don't see it on social media. I don't see it here. I don't see it in the field. I don't see flowers. I don't see any of this reward that I'm just sitting here begging basically to happen, right? And Jesus puts it into perspective with this, because he says, and I quote, "I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." And I've seen children whenever they get out here. And they get out here and they see the dirt. And they're like, this is the best place ever. And they're at their houses. And you give them all these toys that are for children. And then a water bottle comes out. And that is the best toy in the world. Right? Like, you're sitting there. And that's amazing. I get out here. And if I were to look at this every day, like a child looks at this, if I were to imagine little 7-year-old Skylar who created Sky Gardens, I would imagine what it would be like to show her every day what she is getting to do, and the people that she's getting to show the farm and to impact through this little thing called Sky Gardens that you created whenever you were 7 years old, Skylar. That child would be blown away, right? Would be blown away at the fact that there is not exactly 100% growth. Probably even blown away at the fact that I let this many plants live, even if I've got a bucket in there that has dead ones in it. Blown away. So as I'm sitting here, and we're in winter, and it's slower than normal, and we don't have things blooming, and it feels like we're missing something, and I just can't wait for the reward to get here. I'm challenging myself to not get so eager, I guess, to say, okay, God, where's the reward in this? Who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? But to know that my faith has to be like a child. And my faith in him who can do all things and create beautiful flowers out of West Texas, and that faith has to be childlike. Because truly, if it is not, then I will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So I sit here, and it's winter, and I'm not where I want to be yet, like the disciples. Jesus isn't ruling. Oh, he is. He is king. He is king. But I'm talking about the disciples then. They're like, what's going on here? This is not the plan. You're supposed to be taking down everybody with these armies, right? I'd like to ask you fun questions that probably you're going to embarrass myself. I mean, you'd have to think that's what they're thinking whenever they ask that. I mean, I don't even know. And Jesus says, if you don't have faith like a child, you won't enter. Which is crazy. Crazy, awesome, and amazing. And God, I pray you give us childlike faith. Every day. I think if we went into the world and we were looking at the world as a child does more often, we would see so much more beauty than what we do whenever we're looking at it through the eyes of our adult lenses that are not near as much fun. So, I guess that's the challenge this week. I hope that you look at your life and you look at what's going on, whether it be you're in the reward time or whether it be you're in the time of it growing and you just need to be excited about the dirt around you. I hope you look at it like a child does. Let's all get to heaven together. So, thank y'all for tuning in here this week. I'm excited to see what in the world the garden is speaking next week. Well, not the garden. I guess it's his voice. And I'm excited to see what in the world he is going to say through his creation and through this garden next week. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank y'all so much. If you have any questions, I'm not a Bible scholar, but you can leave them in the comments. I can see if I can get somebody to help you. And like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep on going. If you need if you want anything else you want us to talk about, I guess leave that in the comments too. So thank y'all, and I will see you soon.